I need to ask your advice.
What? On women? You?
No, no, no. What shall I say when he asks, you know, what you've been doing since 1974?
Tell him the truth. He knows anyway.
What, that I've been a reflexologist?
A chiropodist.
Yeah, but reflexologist sounds sexier.
There's nothing wrong with being a chiropodist. It's almost a doctor.
Tell you what, I'll just say I've been touring Eastern Europe, Japan, Iceland.
Out to Mongolia.
Oh, I'm not. I missed you. We used to laugh so much.
I need a glass of water. I'll be back in a moment.
It is sad, yes, I suppose. Who's that? Yes, you in the shadows.
It's Sonny.
He's dead.
Sort of.
What are you doing here?
Stop opening and shutting your mouth. Ask the question.
Where have you been?
Well, Codcats was it for me. All that work down the crapper. There was no more music in me. I suppose I got translated into the next realm. No death. Well, not much of one. So stoned. I was there. Now, I'm here.
You always wanted to be the legend. Pity you weren't around to enjoy it. With you, we could have been bigger than Queen.
Come on. You don't believe that. We were what we are.
Yeah, the old so theirs.
Remember the Shades album you planned?
Well, I thought about it, but I never...
That's because you didn't believe.
You mean Shades would have been our 6th album?
Should have been.
I got stuck in life. You were gone. Then our son died. She never talked about him, and, well, we ended up fighting over nothing. I know she blames me. I wasn't there to save him. You know the work we have to put in to get work, so I just jacked in the gigging after he died. Just write the songs now. I wrote one to him. The Gatekeeper. Don't walk to the corner this Sunday sun. The keeper of the gate is gone. It's where I lost my one and only son. The only ballad I ever wrote. That was for him. I seem to be reliving a lot of old memories today.
How is she?
Well, she missed you for the first 10 years. Then the rest.
We had some good times.
When we couldn't find you, we were tied up in legal wrangles for years. She blamed me again for that. She even got a private detective to look for you once the police gave up, that is. So, what have you got to say for yourself, turning up now?
Short? Long?
Sure.
Things happen.
You go missing for 30 years and all you can say is, things happen. Okay. Long.
Well, I was always around, sort of. I just thought the band would pick up one day. There was still a band when I left. I needed meaning in my life. Limits. You know that saying? If a tree falls in the forest and nobody hears it, does it make a sound? Well, if there's no God in heaven, can I do as much sin as I like? With no witness to your sins, who does man answer to? I wasn't creating, just consuming. I was out of control. I was so high at times, some nights I couldn't pick out the chords. That was me, my life. One meaningless noise. I was just hurting people because I could. Hell, I knew she was having a kid. When you said you'd love her, I was off like a shot. I just knew I would have hurt her if I'd stayed. And now, here's a top tip.
What?
When stoned, don't take shortcuts across new building sites.
She held a torch for you.
Was she very hurt when I went?
She was having a baby when you left.
I know. Your son. He's with me now.
My son, here.
Sort of.
Then you know everything.
Well, no, a 4-year-old is a little bit incoherent.
He's still 4.
Not really.
Tell him I loved him.
He knows.
He was my son then.
Oh, yes. You was his dad.
Are you dead?
As a doornail, mate.
What's it like?
I didn't realise at first. Raised hell when I found out. They put me in the blue block, overlooking the Mormon compound. Must have thought I was an American.
The long hair, I expect.
So anyway, do you remember that television incident in Berlin?
Oh, yeah, on the Professor tour.
Well, you know that each room has one of these massive harps.
Yeah.
Well, I tied a bell cord to the harp, took the door off its hinges.
Then tied the other end of the rope to the doorknob.
Got it, what, mate? Harp, rope, doorknob.
Go on.
Well, Gabriel was doing his rounds, as he does with all the newcomers. I hangs the harp out the window, as you do. He opens the door flies across the room and out of the window, following the harp.
You didn't.
Smack in the middle of a Mormon prayer meeting. You should have seen the look on his face, mate. Sure got my 3 days in hell for that.
Sunny shades, as I live and breathe.
Ah.
What do you mean? Ah,
Not for me to tell you. Be seeing you in a bit, though.
I've just been talking to the priest. I've got something to tell you.
Sonny was here a moment ago. Mark was with him.
Was he? See the blonde wig? Isn't it amazing how most babies are born with blonde hair? Oh, well. Life, eh? He would have been a looker like his dad. Think, your song saved thousands of children.
Just one would have been enough.
Mark would have been 36 this year. We never did talk much about him. I don't suppose we will now. I don't want to spend the rest of my life mourning the dead. I've got a few years in me yet, and I'm going to live them to the full.
Yeah, me too. I was only ever alive when you were with me. I need you now. I needed you then. It was me and you, babe.
You have no idea, have you? The priest said this sometimes happens. I have to forgive you and say goodbye. And you know, I never blamed you for the death of Mark. But when he was killed, well, that's the real day Sonny died for me. And it's no good saying, what if, what if? I've lost everyone that I ever loved. So I'm going home to cry now, and then I'm going to live, you bastard! I mean, why die now, you bloody bastard? Oh, goodbye. Just rest.
Well, she was alive one, wouldn't you say, sir? Now, don't you be looking so shocked. Ah, look at you with your eyes open. I tell her it's not easy being a mortician's beautician. Still, some people have a lot to sort out before they can let go of their loved ones. And your funeral, sir, is not before the day after tomorrow. So you will have so much time to be sorting out your affairs. I know her type, sir. She'll return. Now, did I tell you about my Auntie Flo? She'll be arguing with her husband, and he's been dead this past 2 years. Well,